What's going on, everybody? Show the King here, and I'm here today to do a discussion video. Just wanted to touch on a few things in relation to Bleach, and I'll probably also be talking about some other animes from the big three as well. I usually don't do discussions videos as much as I want to. I do a lot of reviews, as you guys well know, but today, I was just lazy Saturday. I didn't have anything as far as reviews to go this weekend, so I thought I'd sit down and talk about something that's close to my heart, which is Bleach. Um, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Bleach is probably my favorite out of the big three. I usually hover between Bleach and Naruto as being one and two respectively, and again, with One Piece being a close third. Well, I guess it's only going to be third place. I mean, sometimes depending on the situation, One Piece will jump to second place. But again, this is not about me trying to do a video bashing One Piece. So please, all the One Piece fans, do not just start hating and giving me all your hate mail and all that shit. This is not about One Piece. One Piece will be a part of this discussion, but in relevance of how I enjoy it, just let a brother talk. So anyway, I want to start off by just talking about my introduction to Bleach because, again, like I said, I came into Bleach a little late, I guess, so to speak. At the time, I was usually just mostly watching reruns of Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, stuff like that. I just had got into, Samurai Champloo, stuff of shows of that nature. Again, I hadn't been really enthralled in any of the big three. Well, at that I do take that back. At the time, I had been watching Naruto. I had just got introduced into Naruto when it started hitting the U.S. shores, and I started to finally understand that it was actually a solid anime. Went online, found the entire Japanese series of Naruto, and I purchased it. I had the dub versions. Whole thing came in the mail, and I just literally spent days watching it. And I heard from a buddy that he was like, "Hey, Sean, we need to check out Bleach." And I was like, "Bleach? What the hell is that?" He's like, "Yeah, man, it's cool. You need to check it out." So I think I remember it was maybe 5 years ago, something like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, at the time, it the airing of it was only up to right around the time when the Arrancar saga started with Grimmjow showing up and beating the hell out of Ichigo. I think that's where up to where it had gotten at that point. But I had already been. I hadn't known anything about it. So got again, same thing. Went out, ordered the stuff online, came in the mail, threw my DVDs in, and I started going on the watching spree. But first, I saw it on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll was the first place I ever checked out the first episode. And after watching the first episode, I was like, yeah, it's okay. But again, like I said, you really can't judge an anime by the first episode alone. So I ended up watching like another 2 episodes, and then after that, I was hooked. I mean, the story, the characters, it was just all new and refreshing to me. And it was at that time, I was just like thirsty for new anime because, again, my main focus was on movies. Like whenever I watched anime, it was like movies. Like I watched Guyver, Ninja Scroll, Fist of the North Star, a lot of old school stuff. I hadn't really gotten into the more modern, up to date, current animes at the time. So as far as like in relation to Bleach, the reason why I want to kind of do this discussion video is because there's a lot of hate out there for Bleach, and it's I guess some of the stuff is valid, but a lot of it isn't. And in relation to the other parts of the big three, I just don't understand why Bleach gets so much hate as far as it being inferior to a One Piece or to a Naruto. I mean, I think in general, most Bleach fans love the Rukia saga, when they go to rescue Rukia, and, it ends off with Aizen's betrayal and, Ichigo going Bankai for the first time. I think everyone loves that, but I think right around the time when the Arrancar saga starts and, the whole thing with Aizen, I think that's when people start to, try to poke holes in the logic and things of that nature. And to me, I didn't understand all the hate. I really didn't. You know, for me, I was just like, I was enthralled with it completely. And again, I just want to kind of, talk about some of the things that people used to complain about. Well, number one, everyone wanted to say that Aizen was OP. And to a certain extent, he was. I don't even want to say he was OP. I want to say that his Shikai ability was very hard to stop. Because essentially, if anyone who doesn't know, Aizen's ability is once you see his Shikai form, he has permanently trapped you in his infinite hypnosis, which means he controls all 5 of your senses and can make you see, smell, touch, or feel anything. So if you can try to attack him, and he can just make you feel like you attacked him, but you really didn't. It was just a really, really tricky thing. And up to that point, the only person who had never seen his Shikai was Ichigo, which meant that Ichigo was legitimately the only person who could beat Aizen. So, again, with Ichigo being the main protagonist of the show, it made sense. So, to me, I felt like, even though Aizen had a strong Shikai, he was still beatable. I mean, it was just like any other shonen villain or any other villain in general. He's going to be the strongest, and it's just going to take growth from that main character to win. That's how it works. You get a strong opponent, the main protagonist powers up, trains, and eventually beats that villain. That's how it works. It's like that in Naruto, it's like that in One Piece, and it's like that in Bleach. It's like that in general. And I felt like a lot of people gave Aizen a lot of hate in general. But again, like I said, Aizen was a genius. I mean, he had this whole thing planned from get-go. I'm talking about from the moment of Ichigo's birth, the whole thing with Rukia. Like, Aizen was meticulous and planned everything. And I think that's what made him dangerous. Yes, he was strong. Yes, his spirit energy was off the chart. But more than anything, he used his brain. And that's kind of where you have to give him credit for that. Now, one other thing that was is a touchy subject for me in general, and I want to touch on this as well, is death. There is this thing in the community, and I've talked about this in my videos before, where fans crave major death in these animes in order to validate the series as a whole, which is ridiculous to me. Like, I don't understand it at all. I feel like, yes, in real life, people die. It's the way the world works. But guess what, people? It's an anime. It's not real life. It's fantasy. It's not real. So you can't use the same laws of physics. You can't use a world where people are using magic and energy and swords that come alive, and then if someone doesn't die, then that means the story isn't good. That makes no sense. Again, like, for instance, yes, I will say, out of all three, Bleach was probably the one more notorious for characters not dying. I don't think up until the current arc anyone had died other than Captain Yamamoto's subordinate finally died. Now we have Byakuya supposedly dead, which I don't think he really is, but whatever the case may be. But anyway, any way you slice it, to me, I don't define an anime based off of who dies. It's not necessary to me. Again, you have to also understand, I grew up watching American cartoons. So I watched X-Men, I watched Ninja Turtles, I watched, Captain Planet, for God's sakes. And again, none of the main characters die. It's just unheard of. In America, people don't die. They may get hurt, they may get beat the crap out of, but they don't die. So for me personally, it doesn't really matter to me. And at the end of the day, the bad guy always loses. So it's just like when I hear people say, man, Madara hasn't killed anybody yet, man, he sucks, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, that's stupid to me. I'm just like, Madara can exude his power and show his power without having to quote-unquote kill people. And that was evident as soon as he hit the field. Like, in Naruto, when he started fighting the Kages, just him bringing out that planetary devastation attack that he used, that was literally the size of the fucking moon, was just ridiculous. Like, I mean, to me alone, that shows me what he is capable of. The fact that he didn't kill anybody with it is irrelevant, in my opinion. So again, I just feel like a lot of times people just are looking for this death to validate the show, and I think that's stupid. And again, I think if you throw in their face logic, their tunes would change, because again, if people do the same thing in Naruto, that there's not enough deaths. But in Naruto, there are plenty of deaths. If you compare Naruto deaths to One Piece deaths, I just said One Piece. Now I open up the floodgates for the hate. But look at it. Do you think people would think the same way if I could easily just sit here and say that I don't like One Piece because none of the Straw Hat crew has died? This has been the longest running shonen anime of all time, but yet not one of the Straw Hat crew has died. I mean, come on, we need a death. I mean, you can kill an enemy, fine. You kill Whitebeard. He supposedly was a quote. Well, all of them are bad guys, but you kill Whitebeard, and yes, you killed Ace, which was Luffy's brother, but he wasn't a part of the Straw Hat crew. I need to see somebody from the Straw Hat crew die. I need to see somebody from the main core group of the Straw Hats die in order to validate your show to be good. Doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't make you feel good inside to know that your favorite anime character should have died in order to make the story straight. I can guarantee you there's a lot of people out there that would say, oh, what the hell are you talking about, blah, 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 blah. But you get what I'm saying. Like in Naruto, the first part of Naruto, when he was younger, Saratobe, the current Hokage, died. His brother, Asuma Sensei, died. And by the way, Asuma died in a horrific way. By the way, and again, Naruto's parents dead. Again, now they didn't show it, but again, you eventually realize who and how they died. It's bottom line is there have been major deaths in Naruto, and to me, I don't think it had. Of course, it invoked emotion from you. I'm not gonna lie. I probably kind of got a little teary eyed a little bit when Asuma died. It was a major death that I didn't see coming, and again, it made the story a little bit more interesting. But I don't think it was a pivotal turn. Like, oh my God, he died. Therefore, this is the most amazing story ever told in my entire life. No, and even bigger than that, Naruto. Jiraiya died. I'm like, Jiraiya died. You killed Naruto's teacher. How much major can it get than that? But if you, on the flip side, if you look at like a One Piece, again, I can only think on my hand only two people that really mattered in the entire show that died, which was Ace, and which was Whitebeard. But again, Whitebeard was so fucking old, he was going to die eventually. And again, neither one of those guys were part of the White Hat crew. So for anybody out there that just tries to talk about they get their validation from characters dying, look at the Straw Hat crew, and until one of them dies, your argument is invalid. Plain and simple. So moving on from that, another big issue that people had with Bleach was the pacing. Now here I will agree. The pacing, and again, this is all subjective. The pacing with all three of the big three had at some point in time been ridiculous. Like I can guarantee you that, and a lot of people had an issue with the Arrancar arc because of the pacing. Me personally, I don't know. I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed when Rukia, Chad, Onihime, and Ichigo, they all infiltrated the Waco Mundo to go rescue I said Onihime, but she was already captured. I enjoy them whole breaking into Waco Mundo. I mean, I could have done without those couple of little filler episodes they did at the beginning where they were fighting that guy who was stuck in Waco Mundo apparently for years, and I think he had a thing for Rukia. That whole little small little filler they had going on. But overall, I felt like every episode was solid. I don't care what anyone said. Like, to me, I was looking forward to finding out what the resurrections were for the Espada. I wanted to find out about, all right, we know Grimjow's number 6, so who's number 5? And oh my God, who's number 4? Things of that nature. Like, that's the kind of things that I was looking forward to. And getting to see the one-on-one fights, getting to see Chad's progression, getting to see Ichigo's progression, getting to find out more about his hollow mask. All of that stuff was super intriguing to me, and I loved every second of it. Another thing about Bleach that they actually did well is their fillers. Like, I'll put this out here right now, and remember I said it. Naruto has by far the worst fucking fillers on television. Like, seriously, like, I don't think I can count on my hand 3 episodes that were worth my time as far as Naruto fillers. Like, whenever I hear about Naruto fillers, I literally go on a Naruto hiatus until that shit's over, because their fillers are just so bad. Like, I don't like fillers in general, and again, I will give credit to One Piece, because I don't remember One Piece having that many fillers, if any. I know they may have had a couple of fillers here and there, but in general, One Piece doesn't have that many fillers. But for God's sake, Naruto, oh, like, I know when they were going to that Turtle Island, they had that huge filler with them being on that damn boat. That killed me. Back even when the first arc, before they went to Shippuden, they went almost a year and a half on straight fillers in between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. That killed me. I mean, alright, I'm not gonna stay ranting on that too much, but Bleach's fillers were halfway decent though. I mean, the bounce saga with Bleach was okay. I won't say that it kept my interest all the way through. I would say at the beginning, when you were finding out about the different bounce, it was very good, and then maybe midway through. But towards the end, I was just like done with it. I was like, all right, get this shit wrapped up. Let's get back to the main story. But by far, I would probably have to say, if I had to pick a filler arc from Bleach that was superior to all, that I was almost more interested in than the story, well, not completely, but I was on par interested, was when they had the sword beast. Well, not the sword beast, before the sword beast, where basically every Shimogami's sword came to life. This was right in the middle of the Arrancar arc, and I think it lasted maybe 30 episodes, something like that. It was solid. We got to see Kenpachi versus what is his name? Byakuya. I'm sorry about that, guys. So we got to see Zaraki versus Byakuya. We just got to see Kenpachi in general. Anytime you show Kenpachi, it's a win for me. Now, this is what I will say, and because I want to try to keep this discussion a little brief. The one thing about Bleach thus far that has bothered me the most was that execution saga. I mean, that arc was some stanky shit. I mean, stanky. Or I could have done without that whole arc altogether. Like, and again, it had potential. Like, when it first started, he had just beaten Aizen. You thinking the story is over. He lost his powers. We're trying to figure out, of course, is he going to get him back? And he meets this weird guy, the execution. And, he's starting to gain this new power. It was all interesting at first, but then it just started dragging on. And then, you had the girl that was obsessed with donuts and the chick with the dirty boots. It was just like, what the fuck is this shit? So again, I agree. The one low point for me and a lot of people in the whole Bleach series would probably have to be the execution saga. But in its totality, it only made up about 15 to 20 episodes tops. And I mean, Bleach had over 200-300 episodes. So I'm like, you're trying to tell me that the series sucks just because of the execution saga? Like, I would argue, I would love to debate with anyone who can legitimately tell me that they had major issues with the Arrancar arc and the battling and the fighting. Everything that I thought was superb. Yes, there's a lot of plot holes, but again, there's plot holes in every damn story. But I'm like, in general, it was a solid series through and through. And now we get this invasion arc with the Quincy's, and this shit is beautiful. I mean, we got Buckbeard, we got Captain Yamamoto using his Bankai for the first time. People in Soul Society are dying left and right. It's like complete chaos, and I love it. Like, and a lot of people want to start screaming, Kubo's back, Kubo's back. And I'm saying to you, Kubo never left. Yeah, he may have fallen off a little bit with the whole execution saga. But again, I think that whole saga in general was just to introduce Ichigo's new power and show how he got his Shinigami powers back. It's plain and simple. I think that was that whole arc. Now, again, they could have probably cut that shit a little bit in half. But again, if I had to give any bad marks, it would be about that. And again, right up until the point where the other Shinigamis showed up and started putting away the other people from execution, I was excited about it. So just seeing Kenpachi slice him in half, even seeing Byakuya versus that other guy that could change your memories, and even seeing Ichigo against the other guy who used to have his job. It almost had that whole Yu Yu Hakusho feeling where Yusuke had to fight Sensui because Sensui was the previous spirit detective before him. It was almost the exact same story, story-wise, I mean. But in general, I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about, Bleach in general. Just, put my feelings out there on how I felt about the series. I love it. I don't understand why, a lot of people hate on it, and I kind of want to see this new arc get animated. I mean, because just from the things that we've seen so far, it's a beautiful thing. But again, I want to, it's time for the discussion. I want to definitely hear what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm full of shit and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about? Either way, this is what the dialogue's for. I'm one of those reviewers where I do comment back. So again, you do comment and you will hear back from me. That's kind of how I am. I almost can't help it. So, let's get this discussion started. What are some of your highlights from the Bleach series? What are some of the things you liked? What are some of the things you didn't like? Let's get discussing. Definitely subscribe to my videos and also thumbs up the video if you could. You don't have to, but it always helps. This is Sean the King, and you guys have a fantastic afternoon.